Yeah, thank you all for being here on this wonderful topic. Just to clarify, this topic is on nurturing the inner child, not healing the inner child, because we have done so much work, I guess, on healing, and it's forever, never ending kind of a pathways. But how about for a change, we are going to nurture and receive that nurturing into our adult life here. Um, Whenever the inner child comes in, there is so much of a baggage, so much of a work that comes through it as well, because we have lived through the timelines right from the being in our mother's womb through the amniotic fluid, receiving in what she has gone through. It could be terrified moments, it could be the anger, it could be the love. Everything that we have began our journey, it began with those parts of it, and that is where we are still trying to work on reprogramming ourselves and coming into who are we really and liberating ourselves from all the tragedies, the traumas one has gone through, and to see those blessings as well, the grateful moments for choosing that beautiful womb, choosing those parents, and choosing those locations, people around us that we have forgotten even to see the little glimpses because we could not see them at many times. Yeah. Um, if you have heard, like, even telling your mom telling how tragic the birth was, like how you came out to the world, like, or how easy it was, that really sets a tone even to our personalities, right? Like, the more someone tells, like, oh, you took like 20 hours to come out, oh, we had to go through emergency, waited for you so long, or like someone telling, hey, you came in so easy, unexpected, that was the easiest thing out of all the eight kids, like, and that tells a different story too, right? To connect to ourselves. So even like thinking about, like, where do I begin my nurturing my inner child, reconnecting to my inner child, can begin right at that conception phase of our life itself, like, and think about, like, through like rewinding your life, which were your most crucial times of your life with yourself, which has molded and shaped you to being who you are. Because again, like the programming of what we are right now, say if you struggle to be confident, where did we lose our confidence? Were we bullied by a family member or in a school when we were younger? And that also tells us a story to reclaim those parts of us within ourselves right now to make a full capacity of our full puzzle. So think about you as like a thousand-piece puzzle, and it's all been scattered everywhere. And now you're trying to juggle and bring them all back into seeing the full bigger picture. And a part of it could be like when you were in the womb. Part of it could be like, when you were a 2 year old, or when you were 10 years old, or 16. So these little parts we are coming, collecting it, and placing into our bigger self. Then we feel more complete about ourselves rather than like half and half, or feeling something is missing, something is emptying. And anytime that little part comes into us, like, the remembrance of it, recollection of it, like, either a happy or a sad story, but you embracing that little child and saying, hey, you got me, like, I'm there with you, and let's do this work together, and I honor you. You feel heard and seen by your own self. Because when you were 12-year-old, maybe nobody protected you, nobody could understand you. But now, as you have grown, you would realize it is, oh, it wasn't easy, it was very tough for that 12-year-old to go through what they had to go through. And the life then onwards have shifted and tilted, and now you're allowing that empathy, the compassion that you're looking from outside, to come in within yourself from your higher self. And who else can better understand than you yourself to your inner child, right? If you have a physical child, child, it's very easy to love them unconditionally, accept them as they are. It's the same we need to place for ourselves too, with all the looks of our life, right? Like, not that our children are any perfect, but we love to see them in their perfect ways and hide all that. Don't want to see them. The same can happen to ourselves too, like, embracing and nurturing that little inner child. So here is a question for us, like, think about, like, as talking through what is that age coming up, and what did you have fun in that timeline? What was most exciting phase, even before some trauma happened or anything, approximately, like, say someone going through a trauma of seeing the parents being separated at the age of 15. But before that, like, what was your favorite hobby? What were you enjoying doing? Meeting friends, being in the playground, or playing in the dollhouse, like, dressing up or sewing, stitching, daydreaming. What was your favorite thing? By that, recognizing those parts of it, even just for a moment, like sitting with that idea about it, you are embracing, you are inviting that playfulness back into your life. And many times our own diseases, our own illnesses, health conditions, if you look back into history of our own diagnosis that began, hasn't happened eventually right at one moment of time. It has been collectively coming through to that moment to make it bigger impact on our bodies, because we have been traveling with those fragments all over the place, and we felt depleted all the time. And now when you invite that playfulness, a little bit of you is coming into the fullness, and you will notice that our health is improving. We are getting better and we are sleeping better. The energy, the inflammation, the tiredness is all shifting as well. And even if you think about, right, like in the summer, why do we feel brighter, better in our lives? Just because the sun makes us look into cheerful things. The perspective is changing. Nothing else is changing in our life. The perspective, the outlook that we have got with our own lives is changing. And with that comes in, like, that we don't dwell on to the things that are not bringing joy. We look forward to the things that bring more joy, and you have a great summer there. And coming into the winter is where we go inwards, and then we feel all the tightness, tension in our body, inflammation rises, the muscle aches come in. And this has been happening for a long time because we got more time, we are inwards in the home and thinking, and being captivity with our brains as well. So that is where the change needs. When you look back, the same concept with the sun is to look back into our inner child, those forming years of our life, and bring those playfulness activities. Maybe at a phase you love dolls, maybe in the phase you loved cars. So you are reinviting, oh, where do I begin? What do I love to have fun today? Like, what do I want to do for myself? Not for others, but for yourself. That's what it's important to recommit to yourself, saying that I got you, and I'm not alone, and I'm bringing my partner with me. Partner as this little children, like of you, the parts that have been missed for so long, you're bringing it all in together and weaving into forming who you really are, and you feel more and more connected, more and more blessed as well. And even asking, what does my inner child want from me today? There is a reason we are here together in the collective. So even asking, what does my inner child want from me today? What does that feel like? Where do you feel that energy? And feel free to type in if something comes up you would love to share in, because that is the moment of reconnecting, saying, I have an open invite, a safe invite. The feeling of safety is so important for our souls, For all those years one has gone through, witnessed, and again saying, like, nothing of the disease, illnesses, health conditions are not from right now. They have been in the foundational years, and it's only over the time that they have come up. And now when you really are working with like the medicine, naturopath, all that, you're also working with your emotions, so it becomes a full scope of it, 360 degrees, that we are not letting anything out slip out, and we are seeing all the perspectives. Of course, with that it needs a little bit of a vulnerability, braveness, the inner work, and definitely doing it with a friend or a therapist even, like, it's amazing, profound to just reconnect and sit with that part of us what's wanting attention right now. If you are in control of your life, you have been designed to it. It may not have happened as your personality, but it would have come up as a child where you had to take responsibilities on your shoulders all of a sudden, that you had to tweak in, and maybe you're the eldest child in the family and you have to mold into being a people pleaser and then take on these duties to really help the family members be in their own parts of it, and with that the control had to come in. So it wasn't you right now as your personality defined you, but you became that personality. And there are many days that you might have longed to not having that responsibility over your shoulder all the time, and to even witness the freedom of not thinking about others, but thinking about yourself. So think even about, like, do you have like stress, tension on your shoulders in general, in physical ways? Where is that coming from? There is a beautiful connection we can make with our physical body. Wherever the pain is, wherever the discomfort is, even holding the place, like, say left shoulder, I'm just placing my hand over there, and I would be asking, hey, what are you up to? Like, what are you trying to teach me today with this inflammation? Like, how can I address and help you nurture? And there might be an inner conversation might come through in a subtle words that your intuition or your memory is coming through it. And then you can ask, when was it from? What can I do to help you? And with that, again, an interaction is coming through, and you will notice slowly the pain is easing, the discomfort is easing, and you understand it and you feel much lighter about it. But it takes more of a patience and practice as well to know when we are in that killer pain. That's the most important thing. With the smaller ones, when we give it a try, with the bigger ones, it gets easier as well. Or when we are at like pain 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, when you're at 8, like it becomes easier to work on it. If you would have began like the work at the 3 and 4 itself, yeah. And many times you will see it turning around as well. And at times, sometimes maybe we don't see the connection within ourselves. That's where a trusted friend is so important. Like, even putting it ourselves, like, I can't figure out, but feel like something is stuck within me and I want to move through it. Like, and even as you're talking, you feel the breakthrough coming out. When do you feel last time the stuck? Where is it coming from? Like, having those open-ended questions really helps us to reconnect back into nurturing. And for a moment, like, think about, what does that nurture feel like? Even just close your eyes for a moment. And what does that word nurture mean to you? Have you ever witnessed it before? Or do you long to witness it? For me, the image of a nurture is about laying on a mother's lap, being caressed, um, hugging, welcoming into the warmth of a hug, and being there, hearing the stories she got to tell. That feels a safe place, safe connection. And if one doesn't have that kind of a mother in physical reality, You can visualize you welcoming that little child and nurturing that he missed when they were younger. Isn't it beautiful? Like you, as you stepping into the role of taking care and really making your strength, your foundation much more stronger. That's exactly where that nurture comes in. And it's about not daydreaming, not being hypothetical, like, oh yeah, if I do this, will it all be figure outable? Am I avoiding anything? No, we are bringing in, we are inviting in that party time, that playfulness, that giggles, that joy that we invite into. So think about, like, not only the sunshine. When we watch a comedy show, when we have a lot of giggles, like life feels so good in harmony and a flow that a lot of things that we have forgotten in those moments, they're not that they were not existing, but the vibration, the frequency of your mind thoughts is an elevated way. And that's where we are coming back into this beautiful self of it, saying, I hear you, I see you, I hold, I love you forever. Thank you for being in my path and my journey to make me who I have become. And so that invites into, again, nurturing our inner child with compassion, with unconditional love. And that's the most important thing. And if you find it harder to bring that frequency of someone holding you, laying on someone's lap, even think about what would be the ideal way. How would you nurture your own child or a friend, like, when they're in need? And replicate the same back to that little child of you that's coming in into the peripheral. Why now a memory is coming up? Maybe something that's happening right now in our current life is very much related to the past of it, and it's coming to bring a closure to our lives. That's the most important thing. Rather, why now? Why not now? Because maybe you have evolved to hold that space and give so much love now in your life. So that's where these parts of it are coming back to be more alive. Yeah, to know I'm safe, all will be well. That's beautiful. Yeah, the safety is so important in our realms, to feel safe, secure, and not to be hyper vigilant with our nervous system all over the place, right? Running into chaotic things. When you sail in a calmer, the energies are so beautiful and revitalizing to ourselves. What about when you were 10? What about when you were 13? What about when you were 16? Like, yes, like, not only current teenagers, we all had rough teenage lives in our own ways as well. Right? That's so important too. Like, yes, your 4 year old holds such a beautiful, good memories, and there is some other phase in your life that needs more. So we balance it up, bringing this energy over to that 16-year-old, and you now inviting in the love, like, hey, I got you. Like, maybe you had a first heartbreak at the time, and you felt lost. Nobody understood you, like, and now you're caring. It's okay. You got this beautiful love later in your life, and you did great, whatever you had to go through. I have so much love and connection with you. You really brought me to where I need to be. Even saying that loving words to hold that beautiful, caring nature invites in, when you look at that 16-year-old picture as well, you feel the same connection as a 4-year-old. So we are equalizing, neutralizing the energies and relationships within ourselves with each of these years as well. For someone, they may not remember their childhood at all. So whatever has happened, they don't remember few years of their childhood. When they go into a therapy or a hypnotic state, like, something uncovers as something really rough happened, an abuse or something, and they closed off, and nothing, those doors they ever want to open it, like, but when we feel safe is where we are inviting. It's okay to be out in the world, it's okay to be out of the dark room. Let's do this journey, because a part of you has been wounded, and we closed off, not letting that wound heal, and that becomes a burden and a pain that we carry in for a long time. Yeah. So again, nurturing those parts of trying to remember them. The best exercise that I have done in this work was about, like, writing all the ages from even zero to like being born, like, being in the mother's belly. So having all these ages helped me to identify some of the areas that needed work. Some of them were neutral, some of them I didn't remember. And it was interesting, even last week something has come up. When I was 12-year old, I thought I figured it out and I have done a great job in these years. But when some situation about my doubts were coming in, and a friend helped me to tap into its 12-year-old, and I said, like, no, that's all good, like I worked on it and I'm perfectly fine. But as I sat with it, oh my goodness, okay, this was again the starting point of all the chaotic times that began in my life. So that revelation helped me to hold my own trust and faith, and really helped me to anchor in that realization. It's not about, oh, I had to go through that, like, and it's so discomfort. Some of the parts we can't open until we are in a ready space. Some of the parts we can open much easily as well. But the more I started giving love, sending love to her, like, because I got a good family right now, my children and everything, and even oversharing their love to this little 12-year-old brought in a full capacity of fullness within me, as like, oh, we got this, we figured it out now, like, let's be a team now. So that became such a beautiful deeper connection into the journey that I'm on in the past week. Yeah, so simple as that, or a little tougher, sitting with ourselves, creating that time is so important into really paying the attention there. Yeah, that's, yes, I'm ready, I want to do this, I want to see what it is about, and bring in, if anyone is in therapy or counseling, bring these concepts. If you haven't worked with them before, bring these concepts onto the table and see what happens. Your healing becomes much faster to you. Or if you go to energy healing person and something is really now triggering as activation, bring it to the energy healer and they will help in moving that energy as well. So you don't feel dense, you feel begin to feel lighter, and you might notice your pains are easing, discomforts are easing eventually as well. So we are giving ourselves that little grace period to connect to that inner child. Yeah, so it's never separate. It's never has, like, just because we grew up, it has never chosen to leave us. It's always there, a part of us. Like, there are many, many realities of the things that could happen. They are still happening in those parallel realities. So our inner child is still as alive as we are at whatever age we are in. So it's never been like, oh, it's in the past, let's live in the past. No, that past is such a baggage. So it needs to be unloaded. When you move a house, you definitely go more to the recycle place to let go of a lot of things that you have been held in your home until a move comes in, right? So think about, like, every year, every birth year, you're celebrating, a move is coming in, and now you're clearing up your debris that no longer serves you. These are the parts that no longer serve us to see our authentic self. So if someone asks you to dance and you are shy of dancing and you're not confident of dancing, where is that coming from? So it's everyday reflection that we get to honor and see ourselves. Maybe in a childhood, someone said you're not good at it, or you have left foot, and you may have ridiculed yourself. You feel that, or someone laughed at you when you danced earlier in your life, and you stopped in even putting your shoes on to dance, right? So when you say, like, it's okay, no one is going to care, I'm not caring, let's do dance, whatever it is, your way of it. And here we are not going on a competition on a TV show, and let's be myself. And with that is you're inviting in the freedom to tap on, to dance on to as well. Yeah. So that becomes the invitation to nurture and bring your gifts and talents into right now in this possibility too. So you just need to be explored into those parts. So I would love to take you guys on a little journey to connect your inner child. Don't be judging it. Don't try to put a limitation or try think harder. It'll come in easy, and if not, pick one age or one part of your life that you want to work on. So all you need to do is close your eyes, relax in, either sitting down, lying down, or being in a couch, breathing in and out, relaxing your shoulders, feeling your feet on the ground or visualizing it, anchoring to the Mother Earth, breathing in and out, relaxing your body completely, loosening up your fingers, your toes, your elbows, your torso, and imagine yourself being a younger self, going back into your family home or to the garden. We are revisiting in a safe space that you're holding this space, and just let that little child come up and check in. What age is she or he? Do you recognize the dress, the situation, where they are? Does the background look familiar? How are they feeling? Are they upset, happy, joyful, content? And receive these in subtle messages. What were the circumstances they were in? And ask your inner self, what do they need to feel the love? Feel into that energy of their needs. And as an adult holding the space, share what you got and what they need. And just even reconfirming, letting the child know, I see you, I hear you, you are safe with me. I love you exactly as you are. Acknowledging what their needs are. And with that, feel into the invitation of reuniting, becoming one. And now, allowing yourself to see through from the child's eye. What brought the joy? What was the most joyful thing that you enjoyed as a child? What kind of activities did you enjoy? And what messages does my inner child want me to hear today? Maybe there is a message for the adult self. Remember, the connection is getting stronger, that you're inviting more of playfulness and the joy all along, picking those breadcrumbs from your past in a nurturing way to nurture your heart, nurture yourself, and learning to reconnect. And remember, the inner child isn't broken. It simply longs to be seen, heard, and loved. And now thank that younger self of you to come up and show you what you needed to at this moment of time. And let him or her know that you're going to come back and visit and spend some time and get to know from a different way who you're becoming, who molded you when you were younger. And just reminding that you love that younger self and you forgive yourself for anything that happened beyond your control and you accept just the way you are to your younger self, pouring in that beautiful love. And notice that beautiful younger self gently disappearing, but happy to be back again. And you gently coming back into your full body. And as you open your eyes, if something has come up, make a note in your journal and sit with this process as it can be done many times with different timelines to anchor back ourselves. Let me know, how was that? Did anyone connect to their inner child, or did you have a difficulty? Can maybe type in. So there are other parts that we can definitely do in this forward is being kind to ourselves. Just being kind brings in a lot of invitation. Easier to be kinder to others than being ourselves, but not asking others to be kinder or what happened with all the heavy energy programming, but even telling yourself, hey, wow, you went through a lot, even appreciating yourself for that chosen path. That brings in a lot of calmness into your system. And another part is our beliefs, our foundations, the programming of who we, how we think is all the baseline from our childhood. It's not separate. So we are one with it. Like if you got a belief system that you're not good enough, somewhere it has been picked up along the lines, maybe when you were seven or something. And when you look at it, the person who said to you was not feeling compatible with their own vibes and they just projected it out to you. So, how are you to take the blame? How are you to bring that energy with you and not feel good about yourself when nothing is broken, when nothing is wrong, right? So it is all about relooking from a different frequency, different perspective of those chapters that we have gone through, reading them, living them, and now it's coming back in authentic ways of you accepting it because it's you are the one who went through all this and you have to be more compassionate and more kind to yourself. Yeah, and allowing the time to play and be creativity, that really helps in rejoining in, nurturing in. So if your inner child gave you any clues of what brought them the joy when they were younger, great. If not, even think about what do you like to have now. Do you want to go for an art class, pottery, go hang out with the friends, or go to crafters? Whatever it is, you got your own liberty now. No one is controlling, and it's only the mind trickster doing the job of saying, ah, yeah, you can't do it. You got pains, you got discomfort, you really can't. Nobody is around doing what you want to do. All this is like a trickster, but when you really lay a foundation, yes, you want to do it, you're manifesting it, it's happening. Those people are coming into your life to get you out of the home and to get you into your deeper comfort as well. Yeah, honor your emotions instead of suppressing them. So that's the most important thing that we have been so done PhD in suppressing our emotions and not thinking about right now it's about me. No, it's about others. Take care of others. But enough of that story, enough of that narrative, because again, those are coming from our childhood too. So we are saying, like, let me actually, like, nurture my emotions and understand me so I can better understand others. But think about, like, when we don't cater, when we don't love ourselves fully, how can we ever love someone else fully, right? There is always gap going to be there because we see the insecurities through all that love that we try to pass on as well. Yeah, and celebrate the small victories that you feel comforted from your childhood rather than the big one. If you had a little kind of a glimpse of inner child connection right now, celebrate that. Oh yeah, I got a hook right now, let me go deeper, let me come back again. Like, feel that frequency of excitement building up. And even if you didn't, I see a message there, you haven't felt in and it's difficult, yes, like, but now, like, think about those doors are closed for so many years and now all of a sudden you're trying to open it up. There could be a shock to the system, shock to the child who has been trapped behind the doors, and you need to reassure, hey, I got you, I'm totally safe, I'm protecting you, I'm really there as the time that I could not be there for you. Let's do this, like, If the child is fragile, how do you get in? You get on your knees, you get in a whispering, a loving voice. Do the same to yourself, and maybe on the 10th time, the child feels comfortable, safe enough to open that door to you. So that is where we have to relearn to again reconnect in a nurturing way of it rather than commanding, oh, you better come out now. No, we have been done that so many times. No, is that love is what we are really deep inside craving for and wanting it. So why not pretend you're giving it and then becomes a reality to ourselves? Yeah. And what is that promise you want to make to your inner child today? Even think about like, am I ready to do this work? Am I excited to reconnect with you? What feels more doable, comforting to you that you want to make a promise today? Because this journey is a loop, is forever the spiral going upwards. But the spiral, if you think about it, as it is spinning up, it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, so your work becomes lighter and lighter and lighter as you evolve through the higher conscious states, and you feel so good. Either you get the breakthroughs while you talk to someone in your meditations or in your dreams as well, that you feel like, oh, my paths are coming back to me. I feel honored to reconnect to my childhoods from different things. And then slowly you'll notice is you're able to forgive the people, situation, what happened as well. Not allowing, like, not really need to forget it, but forgiving. And there is this beautiful Hawaiian prayer that I love to recite. I love you, I forgive you, I'm so sorry, and I'm right there with you. So even telling yourself Ho'oponopono prayer over and over and really holding that space for yourself is the most authentic way that we really come back into this sacred space. I see you, I honor you, I hear you, I honor your feelings, and even a promise to care for you with love, compassion. We are safe and we are in together, and reassurance of it, right? We always want a reassurance. Either it could be the doctor visit, it could be a friend visit, reassurance that, hey, you're there for me, right? Like, I'm not alone on this, right? Like, reconfirming is what we want. And so, as your inner child wants that. So, when you are nurturing, when you're reconnecting, you're opening up to that safe space of, like, we got this, buddy. Let's really invite in the joy and the things that we have been lacking in life. Let's recreate those scenarios in the place to it. Yeah. Then you feel more safe, and the more interactions you get to have, the more empowered you feel. The reality of the current situations to change as a result of it. Yeah, these are more of like even sensing a thought or seeing a perspective into the things that we have been longing and we have been missing. That's the most important thing. And one of the major things that I found in this work is the gut. Say for example, like, most of our illnesses do start from our gut. When my own began, like, I had 60 food intolerances in 2010. And within a year of working on the emotions and eliminating the food as well, everything came down to six. But that was a heavy lifting work of it. And then I realized, oh, gut is a second brain and it's so sensitive. And the inner core, the inner child is being held in our gut, in our belly. And that's where, like, if there is anything big event comes in, we feel tummy pain, discomfort, even going into school. Like, if the exams came up or recital came up, we would give excuses that I can't do it. And that was all trapped in your gut. And no wonder now majority of us have gut issues, and those gut issues lead into the inflammation, into the diseases as well, long-term things, like, and it's reversing those parts of it is what we are coming back through this chain of thought and our work, that we can really allow to bring in that invitation of freedom and acceptance. That's the most important thing as well. So even writing a love letter, if you find it hard to have a conversations in your head and you feel like a little bit of a lunatic there, what am I doing with myself? Talking to myself, like, isn't it a crazy thing? So what you can do is in your journal, you can say, "Dear Gabby, 16-year-old Gabby, let me write you a letter. Like, how proud I feel about you. Like, whatever the words are flowing in, let those words be there for that little child and to see, feel, and receive. The more you thought about it, the intentions, the energy is flowing in through those intentions. So you are reconnecting and strengthening up. Yeah. If you guys want to go deeper into a meditation again, like, go back again, like, witness it and be pestering it. Like, you're closing your doors. Let me come back again and again and again, and show that consistent way of loving your inner child. So they trust to open those doors and show you through it. Because at times, like, I found it very challenging, very hard, undoable. Hypnosis didn't work for me for that reasons. Like, I was so stuck in my head and the brain. But eventually, when I started surrendering by saying, all right, okay, whatever you want to show, show me. I'm trying to learn here, not to be in control. So saying those affirmations and relaxing myself really helped to open through that beautiful parts of it that I have closed in, like, because that was so much that happened in those times that I was not even knowing how to open it up. Yeah. And how to handle it even after I open up. It could be emotional, it could be tearful, it could be like, uncomfortable at times. So definitely having a space with your friend, loved one, or even journaling to yourself really helps in, and remembering, like, put some affirmations, say to yourself, glad we did this work together. Like, we are in together, we are in stronger. I hear you, I see you, I love you. And reminding yourself is so important. Yeah. There is this beautiful author, Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate. He's a Canadian talking about Canada. He's Hungarian but settled in Canada. And he goes around the world and gives the talks. And his books are amazing on trauma recovery. And he talks about his own trauma that began when he was 5 weeks old, 5 months old, when his mom handed him over to a neighbor, because at the time the Jews and everything was battle happening, and she wanted to keep him safe and protected to a neighbor's house. And he remembers, like, as like, oh, she didn't want me, so she left me and she went away, like, and so he had to go back and reprogram and work on himself into his adult life. And then he dedicated all to the trauma work of it. He's a doctor. But then he started seeing, like, with his patients, how the interaction between our health conditions to what has happened is always there. Like, say cancer, even, like, not feeling loved, or being abused and never felt the connection coming back to it, or the inflammation, the joints, having so much anger, frustration, agitation within our bodies coming through as well. So really helps in giving that idea of, like, we are much bigger. We can really heal and seal ourselves, not to be stuck in the chaos of the patterns that's been defined to us or been told to us. And we have the key to open to those joy portals that we have within ourselves. That is such a beautiful strength to nurture ourselves again. Having a vision of what that feels like is so important. Even you want to articulate in your own ways, or think about, like, maybe you read a novel and you really love that character. Bring that character and say, oh, I want this kind of unconditional love. And having that feel sense of something tangible that we can connect with in case we didn't have in the past, it really helps into telling our own story in a new way. Like, and you become that story. It's like after a few lies, we become that same truth of it, right? The placebo of it, right? That is where we have to do this placebo effect as well, saying, like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then you become that love that you are here. And remember, when you are in the flow state of things, people around you benefit. People are receiving so much lightness from you as well. No matter what's happening, you bring a smile and you cheer because you want to have joy. You are selfish in that way that you want to bring more joy. Welcome everyone into your party. Everyone is feeling lighter, everyone is benefiting as well, and they feel so relaxed, reconnecting to themselves. It's been a while that we laugh like that, and then you go back to do your work as well. Yeah. So it is your own inner sparkle that comes through and ignites everyone's sparkles too. It's a powerful work. It is not the easiest work as well to nurture, to learn to nurture, but somewhere even telling ourselves, let me see what this is about. Let me open up gently, like, a tiny bit at a time is giving you that little pinhole in the dark room where you see the light coming in, and that's it. It's infectious. You would love this so much. Yeah, definitely. There are lots of journaling on that ideas, even when you Google up inner child journaling prompts, like, so you'll get loads of them, or some books might be there as well. But it all goes back to that from the conception phase to till today, like, so every part of it. Yeah, maybe the womb phase that doesn't come in easy unless you deepen your meditation practice, or it happens spontaneously in your dreams. But later on the years, some of the years we do remember. So work from the years you remember, and the forgotten years will come onto the limelight, because it's like, oh, the 16-year-old is getting better, so let the 6-year-old show up now, like in a competition of it, like, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to be felt. So you start bringing those joys. And it's your birthright to feel liberated. We don't need to be shrinked energies to live our life in that way of like, oh, this is enough, this is good for me. No, we want more. And my cacao shaman, he always says, is we can have more and we can have everything. Be greedy in asking the universe what you want and never settle for less. And I really love that. Like, that's a perspective. But we have been told, like, to ask more. But why should we not? If it's my birthright, if it's my happiness, why can't I ask? Like, I'm a questioner, so I would question that fact. Even, like, it's just because some people are afraid about seeing their full light on, and they teach others not to see their full light too. But it's not the truth. If everyone is in their beauty, what a beauty glorious world we are creating, right? So give yourself that permission today and forever to invite in that inner child and forgive yourself not being there at the years. But now that you're there, that's the most important thing. The journey begins. Yeah. Hope this has been helpful, or a seed planting to something that you are ready to work on. And I honor you guys for taking time and being here, just even to understanding the concept about it. And but definitely do your own work in your own time. Why not today? Just commit for the rest of the afternoon, something that brings you the joy for fun. Mhm. Thank you.